What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cornelia back with another episode of Black News, a podcast where we break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. Now let's get into it. Child, I'm sitting up here and I was all week after the wrap up of award season trying to figure out what am I gonna do to occupy my time? What we gonna be talking about? Okay. What are we gonna be talking about? Because one thing that movie award season did for me, it gave me consistent content. Okay, because listen, I ain't gonna even hold you. Some weeks, I'll sign it. Hey y'all. Hey. Yeah, hey y'all. Hope you're doing well. It's been crazy. It's been crazy, ain't it? Hope y'all doing well, happy, healthy, hanging in the best way you can. And like I was saying, I some weeks I be scraping and scrapping, trying to find topics. Now I be trying to figure it out. God be seeing me through. He be giving me a topic. Something be happening. He be giving it to me. And so I was trying to figure out what is going to be next because while it's always a lot going on, sometimes it ain't a lot going on Black news related. We know we were wrapping up and celebrating Sinners. It was a year-long journey for that cast and crew and for people who subscribe to, partake in, and are of Black culture. That was a very important movie and one of the movies that can be notched into our database as classic and significant and impactful Black films, right? Every movie with Black people in it that gets made is a huge feat. I'm gonna say it again. Every movie with Black people in it that gets made is a huge feat. Especially it's about to get pickings about to get slim, y'all. It's about to get crazy. I'm telling y'all. And I'm telling y'all, it's about to be like it. And I hope this is not the case, but what it feels like, this is probably before any of our Black news listeners' time, is about to be that it feel like it's coming up where that there was that gap of Black people on screen after the Black exploitation era going into the 80s when Eddie Murphy and them popped up, like that late 80s run where it got cooking in the 90s. It was Ghost Town DJs up in here. I'm telling y'all, I hope that is not the case, but the way they setting up in the entertainment business, baby, it's oof. The prayers up to all the independent studios and people who can pull some money together to get things shot and find distribution, because that's sometimes what it's all about. It's about distribution. That's a side note. It was Sinners is on the list of fantastic and impactful Black films. I'm not gonna go through the full list. Y'all know stuff on the list: Malcolm X, Sinners, Love and Basketball, Shaft, The Color Purple, all the Last Dragon. I'm gonna put that on there. Y'all know how I feel about the Last Dragon. You get the point. So while I was planning to wind down the conversation, it feels like on social media, and I don't want to spend too much time on this because I thought it was, while there were some valid points being made, to me, everything that's happening now is always very convenient. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, people popped up on social media and they were starting to say or criticize Ryan Coogler and the Sinners crew and producers for not including any members of the LGBTQ plus community in the movie. Now, I say it's valid from the perspective of everybody should have a right to their voice, and everybody wants to see themselves represented and represented well. Right? I understand that. Also, respect that viewpoint. But one thing that seems so interesting, and y'all know I'm very critical about things that happen or are posted on social media because there are a lot of bots and a lot of non-black people hiding behind black facing uh, profiles. You got a lot of people cosplaying as. I saw one girl today was on there cosplaying as a black person. You can tell by all her replies Everything she was doing in there, this was not a black girl. So you have people strategically placed throughout social media to do certain things and start certain conversations and sow discourse in a way. So when that topic came up, while I understood where it was coming from, I was kind of taken aback because Sinners was out for so long. People picked apart, talked about, dissected, did deep dives on every aspect of that movie you can think of. Literally hoodoo culture, hoodoo versus voodoo, the religion aspect and what that meant for black people in the South. How does Christianity play into black people then and now? You had the Choctaw, Native Americans. You had the Chinese, Mississippi Delta Chinese, vampire culture, vampire lore, everything that was around, Irish culture and history. You had the deep dives on blues, Robert Johnson, the myth about people selling their souls to the devil back in the day. Doing a deep dive on the actual blues musicians, plantations, plantation money, script, Mount Bayou, and the free black town, the Great Migration, um, all of it, twins. The deeper meaning of twins, the deeper meaning of names, Elijah versus Elias, all of these things, white passing, pimping in Arkansas, everything was deep dove. But then I never until recently now, right after Ryan Coogler won and other people won, did we hear this part of the conversation. And I'm not saying that's either right or wrong, right? I respect everybody having an opinion about representation. But I just was like, well, wow, like, what's going on? Now, to be clear, people were saying that they wanted some representation during the musical scene. As you all know, there is a moment within the middle of the scene. It is the moment that shifts gears and pulls together the theme of the movie, and explains Sammy's purpose as it relates to the vampires. That you had him conjuring spirits from the past and present. You had different elements of black dance, black music, ballerinas, traditional African dancing. You had people crip walking, people doing the Charleston, all kinds. But people were saying there was no ballroom voguing element, which was very interesting because I didn't think about that. And that is a specific dance that is a part of black culture, and it was not included. So I understand that. Would have been cool? Sure. Was it not there? No. Did that change the movie? No. Some people then ventured off and was saying there should have been LGBTQ plus representation in the movie. And some people were asking, like, which characters? How do you know that certain characters weren't? Does that mean that they should be outwardly showing their sexuality or their, or how they like to identify? So many conversations spark from that. But I just thought it was very interesting. I also want to implore people who because then it became a critique on Ryan Coogler's his whole filmography. So I would implore people, if you want to see how he writes characters that are a part of the particular community LGBTQ plus, watch Wakanda Forever. There was an LGBTQ couple represented in that, and to see how he handles that subject matter. It was done very well. And a lot of people, low key, a lot of people be trying to act like they ain't like Wakanda Forever. I don't be liking the Wakanda Forever slander. Y'all know how I feel about that. So y'all know how I feel about people with the recast T'Challa. Don't get me started. But I just want to quickly touch on that because, especially now, I want to just make sure we're asking or looking on social media about who's saying what. Before I respond to people, if people are having debates and they say something crazy, first of all, it'd be block city on my end. You say something crazy to me, you have a smart attitude, you come in there with some know-it-all, or you don't do no research or block. I posted the other day. I was like, we all having all this centered discourse, but the real point that we should be paying attention to is that it's stack, not stacks with an S. Cause y'all know black people love putting the S on stack. Y'all, I saw so many people talking about some smokes and stacks. Y'all, come on. Y'all, why somebody the other day respond randomly, don't know these people, ain't nobody out here calling him stacks. Block. Don't come, don't come on my post with no attitude or no snarky, snotty little comment. Block. Block. Chop. You done. Anywho, I was saying before I have a debate with anybody or anything, I go to their page, look at their replies, and see what they be saying. And if you ain't up to snuff, you got to go. I can't even do it. So I just want to point that out because we got to stay alert. Now, with that though, while I was simultaneously looking at this, thinking what is going on, it has been revealed what at this moment in time will be the new focus for Black people for at least the next couple of months. And child, that is concert tickets. Y'all, everybody Black going on tour this year. Everybody Black. When I tell y'all, the focus is everybody Black got a show. Hey, gas is $1,000 a gallon. Food went up. My normal Trader Joe's bill that used to be $40 back in the early 2010s, that jumped up to about $60. Y'all, I went to the store a couple weeks ago, $90. I get the same things every week. Some variances. Some weeks I add in a frozen pizza and a pack of smoked salmon. Some days I'll add me an extra Trader Joe's smoothie and something a little something sweet or just a little extra something. $90. So on top of that, y'all, we got to save up. These are just some of the concerts that are happening this year. Okay, these are just some. You got In Vogue, TLC, and Salt and Pepper just announced. Essence Festival is coming up. Brandy Monica, Cardi B, Kehlani, all of them, they gonna be out for the summer. J. Cole got tickets. Ari Lennox got tickets. Summer Walker got tickets. Alex Isley got tickets. You got Cardi B is out on the road right now. She doing something. Brandy Monica and them just wrapped up maybe some months ago. Jill Scott going out. There's a couple I'm missing, but the big one that I want to point out, because you only got a couple more times for this one. I feel like I don't know what I'm cooking. Child, Jay-Z done popped up, switched his name back to the spelling that it was in the 90s. Announced that he gonna be one of the headliners at the Roots picnic. The next night is gonna be Erykah Badu. Then a couple days later, child, Jay-Z done said he gonna be at 2 nights at Yankee Stadium celebrating the 30th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt and the 25th anniversary of The Blueprint. July 10th and 11th. Bronx, New York City. Now y'all know I immediately, Spidey senses went up. Y'all know the Spidey senses went up. Okay? Because, and I was at the one of the award shows, and I was joking with my homeboys, and we was talking about something, and I was like, well, maybe this gonna motivate Jay-Z to get his butt back into the recording studio. I was just joking, but something tells me something's cooking. Now, what does this mean? This means that for the summer, and it's a lot going on a down and like on a sadder note, y'all, people are not like financially, people taking hits. People have been laid off. Y'all know Black people have the highest unemployment rate. Black women have been pushed out of the job market. It is a lot happening. So all these concerts, I'm seeing people posting and saying, dang, it's a hard time, the economy, recession, all this stuff. And it's just crazy, especially when you have so many artists that you like and respect and want to see going out and you want to go to their shows. One thing, a tip of advice that I'd be giving and that I learned, it's okay to buy tickets the day of or the day before. Because I got me them Brandy Monica tickets, baby. I got them day of. Hey, had a great time, great seats. So You can always do that. And also, you know what? FOMO, and you ain't missing nothing. Stuff is always gonna be there. However, Mr. Carter, he getting up there in age. I don't know how long we gonna be doing this. And we weren't expecting this. And people are saying, oh, this is just a build up. He gonna go on a bigger tour. He gonna drop an album. I know one thing, he come out with that haircut. It's on. Y'all already know y'all know what the Jay-Z album signs are. Back in the day, if he had a haircut, that mean the album dropping. People are thinking saying Beyonce Act 3 is gonna be a Jay-Z and Beyonce run. Who knows? All I know is I got my ticket. Okay, listen. Y'all, hey, listen. I'll figure it out later. I'll figure it out later. I literally, I was gonna take me a little vacation this summer. It was just something low key. I changed my mind. Your girl going to New York City. Going back to second home. You know, New York, my second home. From Flint, New York, my second home. Okay, going back to the city. And I'm going for the blueprint night. Hey, it was an instant decision. So let me tell y'all, I saw cooking all weekend. Was like, okay, this gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be everybody in the world is gonna be trying to get these tickets because of, contrary to what people say, people was trying to get them tickets. So I was like, okay, I saw it gonna be Citibank. And if y'all know it's gonna be a Citibank pre-sale, that mean you gotta buy with the Citibank. You gotta do something. Y'all I ain't hey, had a couple dollars left on the open up on the Citibank card, just enough. And this happened so fast. I decided so fast. I ain't even had time to get people together. I was just like, you know what? If I get a ticket, I'm gonna get a ticket. We gonna see. Set up the Citibank. Signed up for the Live Nation pre-sale just in case. Connected my Ticketmaster account just in case. I did all the pre-plan. Looked at the map, wrote down the sections that I wanted to be in. Cause something, you know, as we get up in age, there's certain places I'm not gonna be. Okay, I'm not. Hey, certain places I can't be. I got to be where I want to be. Have my plan B and C. Okay, if I can't get these sections, then I want to be in these. If I can't get this, pull up. You gonna have a view from your seat on my phone to see what the view from my seat is. So I was ready. Woke up early. Missed out on sleep. Got into the queue. Thought I was doing something. Got into the queue 20 minutes later. Child, when it count down to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, y'all, I was number 800,000 in the queue. Talk about defeated. But I said, you know what? Whatever it is, what it is. I'ma just keep getting ready for work. I ain't need that queue. 800 some thousand, turning 700 something, 600 something, 500 something, 400. When it got to about 300 something thousand, it was maybe 7:45, 7:50 my time. Queue started speeding by. I finally get in to the portal at maybe had to be like 8:10, 8:15 my time, which is an hour and 15 minutes after the tickets opened. Child, wasn't no tickets. I mean, it was like 3 tickets. I looked at 1 seat, 2 seats. It was maybe a couple. Kept refreshing. Nothing was popping up. And then all of a sudden I refreshed again. And I didn't even refresh the whole screen. I'm trying to get y'all the tips because it's going to, hey, just so you know. I was toggling back between 1 seat, 2 seats, and then more seats kept popping up. It wasn't a lot. It would be like 10 different options or 5 different options, 3. I would hit one. I had my list. I would hit one, get the pop up. These tickets are no longer available. Dang. I would go back, hit another one. No longer available. Dang. Go back, hit another one. No longer available. Y'all, I did that for a cool 15 minutes till I finally hit one. Took me to the checkout. Got it since I already set up on the back end. Hit that checkout. Boom. You got it. Y'all, catch me in NYC. I'm trying to tell you, I will figure it out later. And why? Because y'all know I'm a fan of music. And if I feel like I got to be somewhere, I got to be somewhere. We going to figure it out. I got to move some things around. Now, hey, I ain't going to be, I'm going to be eating at home. But I'm going to be in the building. With that said, what did you all, because I know it's some Black News listeners who probably are planning to go or want to go. It's some New Yorkers listening to this too. I know. What's up? Y'all gonna be in the Bronx? What we doing? Let me know y'all thoughts about it. Did y'all try to get tickets? Did y'all get them? Did y'all not even try? Are you not interested? And if you are, which night did you prefer? Reasonable Doubt or Blueprint? I got the Blueprint night. I could have did both, but I feel like the Reasonable Doubt night is gonna be for people 50 and up. No shade. Just no shade, but I feel like the Blueprint night gonna be a little more relatable for me, even though I connected to both albums, right? I have both of them. But let me know what y'all think about it. And if there are any other shows this summer or this year that y'all planning to go to, because I'm telling y'all, it's like 20 shows that's been popped up. All fantastic, all worth seeing. Let me know though. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. Now, segueing right from the last topic into this, because having bought something that was going to cause me to fly from the West Coast to the East Coast, I am very conscious in this particular moment about what is happening with domestic travel specifically, given that now ICE has been deployed to act as or stand in place of or just have a presence in airports because TSA is not being funded by the United States government. We are in a shutdown. There was a bill put past today that both sides agreed on, which would fund TSA. Y'all boy over there in the house said no, told them to don't sign it. So ICE has been deployed to the United States airports. Right now, I think it's only like 14 or 15 airports. But one of them little red hat friends was on one of the news stations saying out of his own mouth, this is a good tester and a good training ground to see what would happen and what can happen um, around the time of midterm elections. So just so we all know, like we've been saying, they are practicing. We also saw, based on social media videos, that someone has already been picked up and detained at the airport by ICE. So everything we said, they're doing. Now, I don't think any of this is a surprise. One thing that people are starting to prepare for is there are major delays at airports. Some people saying it's taking up to 8 hours to get through TSA. Ain't nobody working. They missing flights. It's insane. But there's a couple things that I want to point out. One, it's been pictures of people going viral, those workers that have been spotted. They can't wear masks at the airport. But there have been a significant amount of pictures posted with black and brown those workers. And I'm not going to keep saying that abbreviation because y'all not be getting flagged. People are kind of shocked. And I don't know if I'm necessarily shocked, but I'm concerned that people aren't very forward thinking. Now, let me explain. Y'all know I get on here and talk a lot about like certain points in history and things that have happened. And y'all know we are in a very specific moment in time. It's going down in history. The actions that happen here, what we do and don't do, who was involved, who wasn't involved, all of that is going to be written about and told years from now. And if history has told us anything, it is that people who are involved in regimes or forces that harm people and are responsible for unaliving people and terrorizing people, we've seen before in other places across this world that eventually some of those people are held accountable. It may not be immediate. It may not be 5 years from now, maybe not 10. It could be 50, 60, 70 years down the line. But people be held accountable. Y'all go to Netflix and watch that documentary about Ivan the Terrible, the man who was in Germany and tried to sneak off to America and start a whole new life. Child, them people hunted his ass down like 70 years later after the Holocaust. They got his ass. He was in a wheelchair trying to act like it wasn't him, allegedly, because whatever. Y'all know, allegedly. But watch that documentary. And I say that because I don't know people's circumstances, and times be hard for a lot of people. Sometimes you out of work, you just need an opportunity. You just need a job to pay the bills. So I cannot speak to the decision that somebody has to make and when their back is up against the wall. Right? I can't speak to that because you don't know what be going on with you in somebody's shoes. But I just want to point out that whatever decisions people are making now, when it specifically comes to the black and brown people that have made those decisions, just don't be naive to think that the example won't be made with you. Because we have seen this time and time again. Whenever it's time for somebody to be held accountable, who gets it first? Who? It is to me no coincidence that today, when they were sharing pictures of those people who were at the airport stationed up, walking around with their outfits on, I saw more pictures of black and brown people than I did of anybody else. To the point where everybody was like, dang, it's a lot more than we thought. Which is it's a little disappointing. And I'm just saying a little just because, but it's disappointing. So there's that part. I also want to bring up that if I'm not mistaken, all of this was in Project 2025. Okay. Let me ask Chat GPT this. And I'm moving away from Chat GPT. I know if y'all guys say I know. I'm looking for a new platform. Just bear with me. Now I just asked, was there a part about that group of people taking over TSA in Project 2025? It says, short answer, no. That group taking over TSA is not a specific policy in that book, but there is something related that may be causing confusion. It says that the Project 2025 proposes restructuring federal agencies, including immigration and security functions. Specifically, it suggests abolishing the Department of Homeland Security, creating a new consolidated agency that will combine all of those groups, TSA and ICE included. So instead of taking it over, it's more like putting them under one umbrella and merging the functions, not replacing them, more like privatizing. What's a better way to do that? Go in there, put them in there. You don't pay people. They get fired, they quit, they can't get benefits. Find a way to replace them with a specialized force. Eventually you can privatize them and change it to do what you want. Hey, we know the play. It is nothing is a coincidence. But I will also say this, because with that going on, demolishing a Department of Education, it's just so much going on, so fast, so specific. Y'all, this has been really sitting on me heavy too. Y'all know they've been, and I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean this specific plan, Project 2025, but the reality is people been planning all of this and everything that has been in that book and everything that's outlined to take place within this next 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Child, they've been planning this since 1866. Child, the minute Abe wrote and read that proclamation, he read that emancipation notice. Child, December 6th. When was it? Was like December 6th. Child, on January 1, 1866. These people who were so upset by slavery being abolished said, we got to do something back. We got to take this country back. And they played the long game. You talk about the long road ahead. You talking about the long game. You talk about, okay, you free. We're not going to give you the land. We ain't going to give you nothing. We're going to set up the Freeman. Somebody going to set up the Freeman's Bureau, but we're going to dismantle it. And all the money you put in the bank, we're going to give it to somebody, spend it, and abolish the bank so you lose all your savings. You had the right to vote, and you had some black congressmen and senators right after emancipation. But you know what? Black codes, Jim Crow, done. You out. Y'all got stuff going on. You starting some lands in some black towns. Violence, terror, burn your house down, burn the whole community. Lost millions of dollars, no generational wealth. You want to vote? Get out of here. You can't vote. You want to sign people up to vote? Lynching. We gonna hang everybody. We gonna do that. Get out of here. You want to try to flee? Nope, we're gonna wait by the train station to make sure you can get on the train or drive your car. You wanna move north and buy a house? Nope, redlining. Make sure your property value go to shit, and all the tax money that you putting into the community, we gonna shift it to a more prominent neighborhood that you can't even get in. You want to fight for civil rights? Okay. You want to walk? Okay, great. You can walk, but the person who led the marches, gone. Snuff them out. Boom, 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 one after another. You wanna oh y'all think y'all now getting jobs in factories and steel mills and stuff, and y'all doing better? Okay. Drugs, chemical warfare. Here you go. Put that in your veins. You see? Y'all think y'all doing something? Great. Maximum prison sentences and school to prison pipeline. You think you can you slavery is abolished? Nope, it's not abolished unless if you commit a crime, lock everybody up. Now everybody slaves. Oh, you think you got a black president? Nope, never again. Complete terror. Make everybody feel like if you are black and brown, you don't belong here. Let's get everybody out. Mass deportations now. Get them all out. Change the laws. Stack the Supreme Court with judges. Turn all the laws back. Make sure you people can't travel. If they try to come in the country and apply for visa, no. Deportation is the countries you ain't even from. Do y'all see the long game? I'm just saying, a part of me is wondering if it seemed really difficult for people to get their footing and like find a way to fight back. Sometimes you can't fight back with a plan that's literally 150 years in the making. You can't fight back. You can't fight 150-year plan with something you just thought of 2 months ago. Like you. And I'm not saying that to be doom and gloom. I've just been putting stuff into perspective, man. It's crazy times out here. It's a crazy time. But with that said, going back to my original point, because I know I'll be taking the long way. Travel seems to be significantly impacted, and it may only be the beginning. So a lot of stuff that people have planned, they're canceling trips. I saw people talking about they're gonna be taking the train. Y'all know Amtrak is expensive. I looked up some rates. But that might be the new way. We'll see. What do you all think? Are all of these happenings affecting your travel plans for the summer and beyond? Are you making trips, canceling trips? Are you business as usual? Or are you just going to make a book a flight and get to the airport 12 hours in advance? Let me know. Let me know what y'all think. You can find me at Cornelia on social media. On this week's episode of Black News, we talked about some light discourse that happened following this past week's Oscar celebration. We also talked about all of the summer concerts that have popped up for 2026, including a surprise Jay-Z concert happening at Yankee Stadium. And then we talked about the recent travel updates and delays that people have been experiencing across the country due to TSA still not being compensated and paid due to the government shutdown. Let me know your thoughts about all these topics, some or none, and I'll check back with you guys next time. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thanks again for supporting the podcast by sharing, liking, subscribing, and rating 5 stars on your favorite podcast app. To find more information about me, you can check me out at Cornelia on social media, as well as on my website, which is cornelia.com. And as always, thanks for supporting, and I'll be back next week with new topics and a new episode.